Hey friends, I am so honored and grateful that you're taking a few minutes to listen to my story. My story I want to share with you today is my adventure of owning three completely different types of businesses so far in my life and some of the lessons I've learned along the way. From trading commodities on the trading floors in Chicago to co-owning Turtle Run Golf and Banquet Center in Danville, Illinois, to now being a co-owner in my wife's network marketing business, educating people on different options concerning their health, finances, and sometimes even their purpose. For me, it started when my parents got divorced when I was 12. My mom remarried and I was introduced to Danville Country Club where I fell in love with golf and work. I found out quick that I liked working and I liked the ownership I got from earning my own money and being appreciated for doing a good job. I was learning a lot about relationships and being a part of a team. So I went off to college to Southern Illinois in Carbondale and discovered more very, very valuable lessons. I partied 7 days a week and took full advantage of being a college student. I didn't miss out on anything. Fraternity life, 25-cent pitchers, weekend trips, spring breaks, gambling, laying by the pool. About the only thing I didn't do much of was go to class. I got a job at a very nice clothing store at the mall, where I was part of another great team and got paid very well. So we were able to buy all our clothes just over cost. So I was styling in my polo shirts and shorts and awesome work suits. I fell in love with quality and name brands. Over a couple of years though, I became greedy and entitled and spoiled. I loved working, but I loved the lifestyle more. And unfortunately, I started stealing clothes and selling them to my friends. What a business. Zero overhead for your product and 100% profit. Of course, I got busted, thankfully. I cooperated fully, but after being cocky in court in front of the judge, I was given some time in the county jail to reflect on my actions. The owner of the store didn't charge me with a felony, and I got the biggest break of my life, which I am forever grateful, by just getting a misdemeanor and sitting my ass in jail. That's where I discovered in a jail cell in Murfreesboro, Illinois, that I was better than this, and there aren't any shortcuts in life. Just simply do the work and achieve whatever it is that you want. It was time to grow up and find my story. So what I do? I took a field trip to Chicago and discovered the trading floors. Seeing the trading floors for the first time from up above in the visitors gallery was pure adrenaline. 90% men, everyone in very colorful trading coats, standing shoulder to shoulder, waving their hands around, screaming, throwing paper around like a bunch of wild animals. It was crazy. It was exciting. It was like, I just found my calling. This was legalized gambling. The concept of trading is simple. Buy low, sell high. All I knew was I wanted to do it. So I finished school, barely, and moved to Chicago. My parents both thought I was crazy, but this is when I discovered my intuition and I followed my gut instinct. I started from the ground floor as a runner, pulling in $6.25 an hour. I had about $30,000 of school, credit card, and legal debt. I thought, how's this going to work? Everybody on the floor was always eager to give advice. And one of the first pieces of advice I got was 95% of success is just showing up. I didn't have any other option. This was a huge win for me. I knew I'd always be there and never miss work. That meant I was going to be successful. My goal was to become a trader. So I asked a lot of questions and learned from the guys who had already done it. One day, I had a trader tell me, no matter what, do not ever take a job trading for a company. Take the extra time and save the money to be your own boss and only trade for yourself. The risk is much higher, but all the reward will be yours. This was a scary thought, but I had promised myself I was going to learn and listen from the best traders. Within 4 years, I was trading for myself at Chicago Board of Trade during the night session. 2 years after that, I was trading for myself full-time at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange in the largest futures pit in the entire world. Within 2 more years, I bought my seat for $632,000. And by the end of that year, the value of my seat had dropped almost in half. On the trading floors, it's like one of my friends always says, it's kill or be killed. It was an incredible time. I loved it. I was in the trading atmosphere for about 11 years, and the risk every day was enormous. The highs and lows were extreme, but it was great. Technology was taking over and basically eliminated the need to be on the trading floor. Everything was moving to the back office and on a computer. I had learned a couple very valuable lessons while trading, which I still practice today. Number one, fade the public. Basically, if you find yourself doing what everybody else is doing, you're going to eventually lose. Second, the harder decision is typically the right choice. I see this happen every day in my life as well as people around me. Usually when someone asks for my advice, I'll simply walk them through the different options and find out the hardest one and usually recommend that option. Third, never marry a losing trade. Get out of a bad trade or a bad situation as soon as possible. Take the loss, start over. This sounds so easy, but the human instinct is to not fail. So you just hold on, or even worse, add to the trade or to the problem. The end result can be catastrophic. The opposite of this rule is to marry a winning trade or situation, meaning let it ride. Add to the trade or life situation as you're writing this great thing out. This also sounds easy, but our human instincts want to cash in on the victory too quickly, too suddenly. Cash in too quick. The end result is leaving cash and opportunity on the table. As technology was getting stronger, my trading instincts were telling me to start looking for another business. I moved my family back to our hometown, and we bought a golf course, a bar, banquet facility, and a swimming pool. This was a traditional brick and mortar business in the service industry with a lot of customers and employees. For 18 years, we rode the roller coaster of rebuilding this club into a profitable business. Every part of the business was great, but we had a lot of real obstacles. Cash flow was the number one item on that list every day. The overhead, including payroll, cost of goods, taxes, insurance, utilities, capital improvements, the mortgage, they were always looming overhead. I had my business partner tell me early on once that we were nothing more than tax collectors. I thought, what the hell does he mean by that? Well, after a few years, I figured it out. I was constantly paying taxes. Sales tax, payroll tax, property tax, liquor tax, food tax, city tax, income tax, quarterly taxes, and more. We had at least 7 licenses that had to be renewed yearly that are nothing more than another tax. It really seemed like every month we'd be getting ahead, and then all of a sudden, the taxes would have to be paid. The more business we did to keep up with all the growing expenses, the higher the expenses always were. The risk was high, and we always felt like we were only a few months of bad weather or an economic downturn away from going bankrupt. The relationships we built with our employees and customers are priceless. I was a part of a very big team again. I was even able to employ both my kids so they learned the same life lessons and life skills that I had learned as a kid during my first job at Danville Country Club. As great as this career was, it was also very frustrating that we could never get ahead enough to get out of debt, let alone feel comfortable about having sustainable income. After 18 years, we decided to sell. After owning and running 2 very different businesses successfully, but really not having a lot to show for it, I was torn on what to do next. The freedom of owning my own business was priceless, but the cost, stress, and risk were overwhelming, and we didn't have sustainable income. I thought about simply going to work and starting a new 9-to-5 career. Melissa and I thought and talked about it a lot. Melissa had started her network marketing business a couple of years before our golf course had sold. She was seeing a lot of success from her efforts, and I decided to understand the business model of network marketing for myself. I found that it definitely aligned with the lessons I had learned while trading in Chicago. To fade the public, and the harder action is typically the right choice. Very few people start a network marketing business, and it's even rarer to become successful with one. The fact was, though, that this business model checked my boxes for what I would need to continue business for myself. Freedom is the number one item on my list. I want the flexibility to work when and where I want. I had a lot of freedom with both my other careers, but both businesses had to operate on the time schedule and in the location they were at. Startup costs was next. With trading on the floor, I had to come up with $100,000 to start with, and my seat lease was $10,000 a month. When we bought the golf course, we had to borrow over $1.3 million with monthly expenses over $100,000 a month. In our network marketing company, Melissa's startup cost was $165. The cost was for actual product and included a wholesale membership and a business opportunity to take advantage of or not. There were simply no other monthly expenses. Next, sustainable income. For me, I feel I was very successful with my two businesses. But with the overhead so high, I was never able to get either business paying me asset income into the future, let alone the restrictions the government puts on you, especially in the service industry. With network marketing, we are able to build a team of product users that are placing their own orders online and receiving their products by mail to their front door. And we get paid a small commission on those orders. Lastly, and maybe most important, I don't want any further education. I have no desire to go back to school to further my education. I barely made it through the first time, and for me, that is not where I want to spend my time. I started from the ground floor on both my previous businesses, and no formal education was needed for either. I've always liked the concept of starting from the bottom and learning the whole business or job and working through all the obstacles. Network marketing is the same. There's no formal education that's available to make you a better network marketer. You just have to do it. Learn from your mistakes and keep moving on. In my personal opinion, personal experience and self-development are probably the greatest educational tools I've used in all three of my businesses. Now, here's why network marketing is difficult for most people. It takes time to build the team of product users. So you're not getting paid much, if anything, when you first start out. Unlike my other two businesses, after putting up the upfront cash and signing up for the risk, the first day of business I saw cash flow. But then we're back to the cash flow keeping up with the overhead. Melissa and I were able to work around this because while Melissa was starting her business 7 years ago, I still had income from the golf course, and she still had income from serving. After we sold the golf course, I've been doing some substitute teaching to keep income flowing as our business gains traction. We've met a lot of successful network marketers using the same strategy. For most, it's an accidental or side business until it gets so large that you find absolute freedom with asset or residual income. After we bought the golf course, the struggle was very real for at least the first 5 years. This is when I learned that 90 to 95% of all businesses go bankrupt within the first 2 years. And if you can last past 7 years, your odds increase dramatically of staying in business. So here's my favorite thing with network marketing. You can't go bankrupt with a $165 investment. We didn't have to borrow any money to start. The only way our business could fail is if the company we represent fails or we quit. So you have to be intentional on the company that you want to align with. We don't have any employees or office space to rent or buy. Our company provides everyone with a virtual office where we place our own orders. We are able to see our entire team's numbers, Our virtual office gives us all the product info and resources anyone could ever need to run a successful business. Videos, education, statistics, and most of all, support. We don't have inventory to sell. Like I said before, our customers place their orders directly from their virtual office and the products get delivered to their doors. We don't need a license or formal education. Melissa was in the service industry for 20 years before she decided to start her business. We didn't develop our LLC until 5 years after she started, and we were seeing a lot of success. We're certainly not experts on all the products or the business, but we are able to use tools to help educate others. I'm actually reading a script right now that I wrote for a teleprompter and simply sharing my story. After doing our own research, Melissa and I decided it would be worth putting in the time up front to build a legacy income for the future. Network marketing is not the traditional business in the United States. Network marketing is endorsed by some very respectable entrepreneurs such as Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, President Trump, Bob Proctor, Robert Kiyosaki, Dave Ramsey, and many more. Warren Buffett actually owns many network marketing companies, including Pampered Chef. Congress encourages small business and home-based businesses with enticing tax incentives. The IRS wants their tax money, but Congress is more interested in a strong economy, and home-based businesses offer that to everyone involved. I've found while we've grown our business, it's been a great investment in time. At first, there was a possibility of a small amount of income, but a major tax advantage. As the business has grown now for 7 years, we've seen our team grow to 2,800 people with total monthly sales reaching up to $180,000 per month. And our commission check has grown to $10,000 a month. Again, these results are rare in this industry, but I am here to tell you they are not impossible, and we are just getting started. Network marketing has been a great option for Melissa and I. We found a company that we align with, products we love, and a community that we wanted to be a part of. In my opinion, no one needs or should do network marketing. It's simply an option that's working well for us. We found that to be successful in network marketing, we've got to use and share the products we love consistently. We also consistently invite people to take a look at our products and business opportunity. The facts are, in our company, 95% of the members are happy product users. Only 5% even try to build a business, with less than 0.1% building a legacy asset income that will have sustainability. The statistical odds are very slim that any one person will have significant success in network marketing. On the other hand, quitting the profession and business model is the only way you can possibly fail. In other words, if you don't like the company you're with, or you end up hating the products, what are you out? You just walk away and you're out nothing more than some time and a few dollars of products that actually you could probably sell to someone that still loved the company that you were once with. After I sold my golf course, a very close friend of mine reminded me that I've been involved with 2 incredible businesses over the past 30 years. But those businesses won't be able to hold a candle to the next adventure that I'll experience with our network marketing business. I think about that conversation a lot because I am already so grateful and thankful for the past. And I ask myself, how can it get any better than this? Lastly, I want to hear what you thought about this video. I truly appreciate your time, and I'm honored you gave me some of your time. I'm always available to anyone, so please reach out on Facebook or simply call. I appreciate you. Have a great day, and we'll see or talk to you real soon. Thank you.